I'm 30 years old, have no kids, and just got my tubes tied.
So, what's the name of your doctor?
In America, and honestly everywhere, motherhood is treated as a woman's central purpose in life, as if our destiny is to let a tiny stranger rip a hole through our Pikachu from the inside out. And then as soon as we turn 18, we're just supposed to sit back and wait for Nick Cannon to impregnate us. And look, I have infinite respect for moms, but motherhood is hard. It's so hard, it even broke Marie Kondo. Tidying up was her life's work. Then she has kids and was like, F it, living in squalor is fine. So it really shouldn't be surprising that some women aren't signing up. But many people aren't just surprised, they're horrified. Childless women are seen as unfulfilled, unhappy. Even the Pope has slammed us, saying that not having children is selfish. First of all, I am not going to take procreation advice from a guy who's never even penetrated anyone. Well, not that we know of, anyway.
Voluntary childlessness, also called childfreeness or being child-free, describes the voluntary choice not to have children. In most societies and for most of human history, choosing not to have children was both difficult and undesirable, except for celibate individuals. So this is a movement. A lot of people are deciding not to have kids for reasons best known to them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Today's topic is child-free by choice. This is a decision that some group of people have taken, but I tell you, a lot of people that are not part of this group are having issues with their decision. Some people cannot understand why some human beings or some people, both male and female, would decide not to have kids in their life. So they are questioning their decision, questioning people, asking them, why are you sure this is what you want to do? Have you thought it through? And all that. And this is a movement, and a lot of people are signing up for this, because I tell you, being a mom is not easy, it's difficult, and there are so many sacrifices you have to make if you decide to be a mom, be it your mental health, your emotions, your body, your physical, a lot, finances and more. So a lot of people said they have decided not to have kids because they're not ready to go through all the pain, the trauma and all that comes with childbearing and bringing up a child. Let's hear what other people have to say about child-free by choice.
Think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay. Kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
I don't know if this podcast is satire or if he means the things that he's saying, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to assume that he means it. He says that she is selfish because she wants her life to be about her and she's not having children. And that to me is so mind-boggling, because when people choose to have children, 99.9% of the time, it's for themselves. It's a selfish choice. They either want to live up to societal expectations of them. They either want unconditional love. They want to fulfill some gaping wound from childhood. I could go on and on and on about the reasons that people have for procreation, and a lot of them are inherently selfish. So the idea that just because you give someone life makes you selfless is not true. I know people who have had children not because they actually want children, but because they're too afraid not to have children, to push back against society. That is selfish.
Why go through with the sterilization at this point in your life? You know, are you just there's no possible way this could ever change?
My friends, or honestly just people in society, ask me and they will say, really, you don't think that you'll change your mind? My response is usually, would you ask a parent that? So would you ask a parent, well, what if you change your mind about wanting kids and now you have 3 of them? You can't go back either. Kids are just as permanent. And in regards to that, I would, in an alternate universe, if I was to change my mind, in my mind right now, there's no possibility of that, but I would rather regret not having children than regret having them. I feel completely fulfilled again in my life now. And I really cannot see that changing. I can get my, I guess, fix for children through my nieces and nephews, but no, I don't have any desire, and I will never have a desire to be a full-time parent.
You're unapologetic about not wanting kids and think more women should speak up about being childless by choice because there's some sort of shame attached to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 47 and people are still asking me, are you sure? I'm sure. I'm positive. I've had the opportunity to carry through with a pregnancy and I've rejected that idea, you know?
Yeah.
That is not on the table for me.
The bottom line is Chelsea Handler doesn't want any kids, and why are you making it your business to ask her about it?
And
ask her how she is. And ask her how the dogs are.
Yeah.
Don't ask
The
if she
one
wants
she gave
kids. The
back?
answer is no.
Let's talk about the outlined reasons why people are deciding not to have kids. They have a whole lot. If you look on the screen, you will see a whole lot, over 100 reasons. They have a lot of reasons, but I will just narrow it down to just 4 main reasons. The very first one, people spoke about how expensive it is to raise a child. Kids are very expensive for financial stability. A lot of people don't have the finances for kids. And they spoke about how much you have to pay putting your child in daycare, how much you have to pay sending your child to school, how much you have to pay training your child from being a toddler up until 17 years of age. Is a lot of money. There was a video I made before and I spoke about how the millennial moms were being accused of being bad parents, and there was a lady that spoke in that video, a video clip I got from TikTok. In that video, lady said the reason why she thinks millennial moms are bad parents, according to what people are saying, is the fact that they don't have time for their kids and the fact that they are out there working to make more money. She said the economy is bad and they're not being paid good money for them to afford good things for their kids. Maybe, I guess she was making reference to nanny that would help them look after their kids. So most of the millennial moms are out there working. Things are harder right now compared to how it used to be back in the days when the boomers were the ones in charge. Right now, things are harder for the millennial parents, so they're all out there working and being paid less. She also made mention of how the 1% are the ones having it easy, and it's easier for any parents that is within the 1% bracket to produce better kids. And I guess the reason why she made that point is this: if you take it back to the olden days, boomer parents had a lot of nannies. They could afford nannies, but these days it's expensive affording nannies. You have not eaten, you're not being paid well, so how are you then going to pay for nannies? Do you get? And I get that's the point she was making. So right now things are very expensive. You should think about yourself. Some people also spoke about how it's hard for you to even afford a house, to buy a house, talk more of having a kid. You understand? So let's hear what some people have to say about reasons why they don't want to have kids.
What are your top 3 reasons for remaining child-free?
I don't want to go through pregnancy and childbirth. I don't want to have to spend my hard-earned money on other people. And I like having the freedom to go out and do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Women aren't becoming moms anymore because it sucks. There's literally no incentive to become a mom anymore. Honestly, I'm not really sure that there ever was, but there certainly isn't now. Let's just start with pregnancy alone. For most women, it's horrible. There's not great health care. Once the baby is born, there's no parental leave, at least not paid anyways. Most women are forced to leave their babies after about 10 weeks. Most women also aren't checked up on in regards to postpartum depression and anxiety except for once, and that's in their 6-week checkup. Even though you can suffer from postpartum depression and symptoms of it for up to a year. And honestly, I think longer than that. The cost of living is astronomical, which means the cost of childcare is astronomical. If you're lucky enough to have a spouse who makes enough money that allows you to comfortably be able to stay home with your child, that's almost unheard of. And on the other end of the spectrum, sometimes childcare costs so much, it's more affordable for you to stay home than it is for you to go to work and pay for a child's daycare. There's practically no support whatsoever. There's no guarantee that the man that you married is going to, in fact, be an equal partner after your children are born. Statistically, we know that. Statistically, we know that mothers carry 2 times more of the domestic labor burden than men. We also know that that directly affects their mental health in terms of depression and anxiety. Now let's move past all of that. Let's talk about going to school, sending your kids to school in America right now. There's a high probability that they could get killed by an active shooter. And that's terrifying. And what's even more terrifying is that nobody fucking cares. Nobody in power gives a fuck. God forbid you have a daughter, because she's likely not going to have any bodily autonomy. She's not going to have any rights to her body. I wouldn't want to have a daughter in this day and age right now. You couldn't pay me to. Honestly, you couldn't pay me to have another kid right now, period. But let's also just move on from all of the shit that comes along with having kids. And let's talk about why you feel women's only purpose in this life is to bear children. Why can't they have fulfilling lives outside of that? Why are women's only source of fulfillment supposed to be from children? Because it benefits you, it benefits men, it benefits the economy, it benefits capitalism. When women stop having babies, it no longer is beneficial to a patriarchal society, i.e. you, a man. So when this world and this society makes it more enticing for women to have children, maybe they'll consider it, or maybe they won't, because you don't have to have kids in order to have a fulfilled life.
Okay. Nice points. Nice points. It's up to you to agree or disagree. Women also spoke about the emotional stability. If you don't have kids, they have peace of mind. So women spoke about how they are afraid of raising the kids by themselves. I had spoken about parents, about men not being active in the lives of their kids when I spoke about married but single moms. Yeah, I made a video on that. So a lot of women are afraid, they're worried, like, okay, what's going to happen if I give birth? Am I going to be the one to take care of this child all by myself? Because men are so unpredictable. Some men just want to give birth and have kids that would continue their lineage, but they don't want to take care of the kids. Some men just want to get married because they want to give birth. A lot of men get married because they want to give birth. They don't get married because they love the person or they love being married. No, they just want to be married because they want a child that will bear their name and continue their family lineage. That's it. So a lot of women are afraid of having kids because of emotional problem that would come from having kids. Being a mother is not easy. Childbearing is a huge process. It changes a woman psychologically, emotionally, physically, and otherwise. It's not easy. A lot of women are also scared of that process. Some people don't want to change the shape of their body build. They want it the way it is. Once you give birth, your body does not remain the same. If you want your body to go back to the way it used to be, I tell you, it never goes back completely. You might have something similar and you have to work hard to get your body back the way it used to be, but it never goes back to exactly the way it used to be. They've given so many reasons. Some people said due to their lifestyle, they want to travel around the world, they want to explore. Some people due to career, they don't want to have kids, they don't want distractions. Some people due to finances, a whole lot of reasons why some people have family history of illness, they can't have kids. Yeah, different people have reasons why they don't want to have kids. Let's hear what this lady has to say about those people that have kids, but they have issues with people that have decided not to have kids. She said some women are not happy being mothers. They're not happy having kids. But they just had to succumb to their environment, to the society. They just have to do what people around them are doing. They just want to have kids for having kids, not because they really want to have kids. Let's hear what this speaker has to say.
Well, if you're unaware, there is a subreddit called Regretful Parents. I've thought about whether it's my place to go on that subreddit, but because people have this belief, I think it's really important to talk about the fact that regretful parents exist. So here's just some snippets from the sub. I didn't think I'd get PPD this bad. Even though my baby is only 10 months old, not a day goes by where I don't want to disappear or hurt myself. I'm in therapy and on medication, but I don't think I'll ever be myself again. I'm just an empty shell. Being called mama irritates the soul out of me. My child is 6, and I wish I understood that my PPD was a sign to adopt him out. Now it's too late for me. The bad feelings never went away. I can't do this. I wasn't cut out for this. I feel like I'm pouring all of myself into a bottomless pit that gives thanks by screaming furiously at me. I didn't want to keep him, but my partner's parents convinced me to. Any breaks I get from my son, I spend dreading when I'll have to take him back. If my kids were not my kids, I would cross the road to avoid them. I have nothing left to give. I can't stand my 14-year-old. I wish she was never born. I hate being her mom. I hate coming home every day to her. I don't know how to accept this is my life now without wishing every day I hadn't ruined it with a baby. I'm just alone with this terrible toddler, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering how I could have messed up my life so much. A year into motherhood, I go to bed every single night dreading the next day. Never in a million years would I have guessed I could be this unhappy. There hasn't been a single day in an entire year that I've enjoyed. I yearn for the life I used to have. I miss it so much it hurts. I don't even see glimpses of myself anymore. My anxiety runs my world. I've completely lost the old me. I wish I had known that every day would start with cortisol surging through my body before the sun rises. My nerves shot before breakfast time. The best part of my day is when my kids go to school. Right now I'm locked in the bathroom trying to recoup so I don't start yelling while my 5-year-old does the exact opposite of what I've asked them to do from the other side of the door. This life is relentless and I'm so fucking exhausted. This is from a post called For the Fence Sitters. You know that feeling you get at the tail end of winter when it feels like you haven't had the sun on your face for ages? It feels like it's been cold forever and every morning feels gray, and you look forward to spring when you won't have to put on your boots and coat to scrape the ice off your car while you freeze your ass off. Imagine trying to explain that feeling to someone who spent their whole life in the tropics. You can complain about the cold, but it's not really the cold. It's not the snow either. And having to put on boots in the morning or drive the car on icy roads, none of these things seem like a big deal in isolation. Even combined, they don't seem overwhelming to an outsider. Anybody can do winter for a while. It's really the bitter endlessness of it all. Waking up to it day after goddamn day. The petty frustrations that together are more than the sum of their parts. That's what being a parent has been like for me. Only instead of being able to look forward to spring, the only thing on the horizon is more winter. Decades of winter. I know that sounds melodramatic, but I swear it's the best analogy I can think of. It's bleak, and it can be harder still knowing that you chose this. You could be sitting in Mexico under the hot sun, salsa dancing and sipping margaritas, but instead, you picked 18 years of winter, possibly more. And that decision can seem very, very stupid when you're shoveling your driveway while sub-zero winds blow snow in your face. So yeah, there are parents who regret it.
Okay, that's deep, really deep. I think the right question here should be, why are you having kids? Because from that subreddit, it's obvious that they have a lot of parents. We don't even need to go to that subreddit to realize that a lot of people regret having kids. If you've seen some movies where the parents are drug addicts and they don't even care about the kids, it gets that bad. Some parents don't even care about the kids. Some parents give birth to their kids and then they throw them away, literally throw them away. Some people don't just care about their kids, that like probably they were not asked if they wanted to have kids. Like I said, some people do things due to the societal pressure, the pressure from the environment and all that. If you leave them to make a decision, I don't think a lot of people would have kids. Do you get? So the question should be, why are you having kids? Why do you want to have kids? That's the question. They shouldn't be asking people why they don't want to have kids. Ask, why do you want to have kids? Set your priorities right. Get them right. Don't get into parenthood and then you start regretting, start sulking and living a dreadful life. You don't want that. Ask yourself, why do you want to have kids? Are you having kids because of the society or because of what will people say? Oh, they want me to have kids. I'm supposed to have kids because I'm a woman. Oh, I was brought into this world to have kids. Ask yourself the relevant questions and make your decision. This is all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and bye.